aujourd'hui. Bon matin, on a un grand plaisir pour faire rencontrer Miss Maryvonne Poul. Bonjour Maryvonne.
Bonjour.
Un plaisir pour avec vous aujourd'hui bon matin. Et aussi Jude Loveday. Bonjour.
Bonjour madame.
Ça va bien?
Ça va bien, très bien.
All right, so Maryvonne, you are based Tanzania, si je ne me pas tromper.
Tanzania.
Oui, Tanzania. Et Jude, ou basé Kenya?
Kenya.
All right. On va aller dans tout ça là. Ici, le plateforme Bozo Cécile, nous veillons un petit peu d'action. Ben, dis-moi, quelle est la couille qu'on est? Maryvonne, comment il y a commencé sur la zone? Du thé, café, de l'eau? De l'eau limon? Ah bon? Et peut-être quelle est qui Maryvonne commence sur la zone?
Ordinairement, à peu près dans 7h30, 8h, on finit lever.
Oui.
Yeah. Mais
il y a un time difference là avec Cécile?
Un temps. You know, behind.
Behind.
Yeah.
So, pas trop un problème pour the time difference. Non, pas nécessaire.
Not at all, yeah.
All right. Ça veut dire, nous pouvons cause 7h30, 8h, Maryvonne finit lever, et prend un petit de l'eau limon, and the day starts.
And the day starts.
Jude, dité, café, de l'eau, quelle est Jude commence sur la journée? Qui est Jude commence sur la journée? Quelle est?
9 o'clock.
9 o'clock?
Yes.
Okay.
Start with coffee.
Oui. Yeah. Neat?
Yeah, coffee black.
Black coffee. Yeah. No sugar, no milk.
One sugar.
One sugar.
A little bit of sweetness.
Un petit peu de sweetness pour gagner à la zone. Maryvonne, né grandi?
Mon nécessaire.
Ou nécessaire?
C'est mon grandi dans Soyal.
Ah bon?
Oui, mon quitte ici, là, mon à peu près 17 ans.
OK.
Mon allé étudier la Suisse.
Oui.
Après, bon retourner, mon travaille avec le ministère du Tourisme pour un peu de temps.
Oui.
Après, mon directeur tourisme l'Italie, Milan.
Oui.
Après ça, mon décidé pour moi faire mon, going to my own things in Milan. Après ça, mon à l'Afrique, mon à Tanzania.
And that's where you stopped?
That's where I live. I've been living there for 38 years.
38 years?
Yes.
All right. Et Maryvonne, peut-être là, on dit, on grandit ici, c'est l'Anse Royale. L'école Anse Royale?
L'école Anse Royale.
L'école Anse Royale. De quelle année nous pouvons dire un petit peu là, Anse Royale?
Oh my God. I don't remember. Yeah.
Et depuis, c'est dans 60s, 70s? Peut-être?
Yeah, 70s.
70s.
Yeah.
Jude, unfortunately, pas nécessaire, mais par contre, on vient de l'enfance. Est-ce qu'on a cette opportunité peut-être pour venir cesser de temps à autre?
I'm Kenya born.
Oui.
Oui, je suis né Kenya, moi.
Oui.
Grandfather.
Oui.
On my mother's side, father's side, tous les deux, sorti
Cécile, oui. De l'enfance, peut-être on a ça pour peut-être venir vacances.
Oui. 3 fois par an.
Oui.
From the time I was 16 years old, I've come here at least 15 times or so.
Et peut-être question qui est beaucoup plus demandée. La famille basée de quel district?
Mon grand-papa, tu Larianga, English River.
Oui. Ah ben nous avons dit peut-être nous camarades à cause si Larianga moi aussi mon Larianga small word isn't it? Peut-être Maryvonne, what is really un consul honoraire?
Consul honoraire, nous avons un privilège pour nous représenter Cécile.
Oui.
L'état nous représente Cécile, nous travaillons pro bono. Comme c'est tout ça que nous faisons pour Cécile comme une dévotion pour Cécile.
Oui.
Disons, mon papa échoue visa.
Oui.
À cause, mais tout quelque chose qu'il peut faire pour Cécile en délai, par exemple, Cécile est accréditée par Nairobi.
Oui.
High Commissioner is in Nairobi, based from Tanzania, which he overlooks Seychelles. But then for us is whenever there's issues, we are contacted and we help Seychelles in whatever they do. We help with visas, for example. A few embassies are based in Tanzania, and so the Seychelles nationals need visa, for example, to go to Canada.
Oui.
So I help a lot of Seychellois. And I think it's important for Seychellois also to know that when they're coming to Tanzania, there is a consul there. Right. And if they are in trouble or they need anything, we are there to serve them. That's what we do.
Au rôle et responsabilités, le côté Kenya?
Well, même chose qui
oui.
Maryvonne fait. And in Kenya, so I have to speak in English at times.
Oui.
Pour say cause Carol, but once in a while I'll speak in English. There are many embassies, as she says, that are based in Nairobi, and people traveling to countries where these embassies are now based with me, I assist the Seychelles to have their visas submitted. We don't process the visas in our consulate office, because that's a mistake that Seychelles think.
Okay.
That when we receive their documents, we are the ones who are helping to process the visas, and we do not do that. We are just passing on the documents by offering this service, and that helps the Seychelles so they don't have to travel to Kenya to these embassies, like Japan, Israel,
Yeah.
Nigeria, some of the embassies that we support.
And how... Oui,
In
Maryvonne?
fact, sorry, that
As
just
you
make a
anticipate,
point,
oui.
yeah. In fact, now for Canada, for example, is a biometric system. So it's quite difficult for the Seychelles people to do that, because you have to do the biometric either in Dar es Salaam or a nearby, some people does it in Dubai or maybe in Mauritius. But that becomes a little bit difficult for the Seychelles people to travel. But
Yes.
that's the system we have really discussed with the government of Canada, but they are looking into ways of maybe waiving.
Yes.
So we are pushing for them to waive visa for the Seychelles people.
There I say to a certain extent, foreign on behalf of the government of Seychelles,
Well-
pour amener un petit peu ban législation, ban policy pour ease un petit peu par nous
Yeah.
dire.
Sanusi,
Yeah.
I think normally also that it's not us to decide. It is the Ministry of Foreign Affairs
Oui.
here who would act on this, So of course we because they are on place, we've tried, and they are also thinking of how best they could push the government to see if we can get either visa free or what is a system for the Seychelles to, it's for you to pay for a ticket to go to Tanzania to have a biometric. It's quite costly.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Peut-être un petit peu le rôle consul avec Foreign Affairs. How does that work?
Okay, maybe I can elaborate a little. Of course, we are representing the government of Seychelles
Yes.
in our jurisdictions.
Oui.
And we ensure and create a good relationship between the governments on behalf of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. We articulate the policies, the foreign policies of the government of Seychelles. We ensure that we cooperate. And for me in Kenya, we have a lot of ambassadors as well who are accredited to Seychelles,
Yes.
are non-resident, but they are resident in Nairobi. So we work a lot with them as well in trying to articulate some of the policies of the Seychelles. Like between Kenya and the Seychelles, we have a lot of cooperation in various sectors, in tourism, in fisheries, agriculture, and we work towards bilateral arrangements between these, and we are basically doing the work an ambassador would do,
Yes.
but we're doing it on his behalf because we only have 9 missions in the whole world, and we do it voluntary, as we've said,
Yeah.
but following those policies, and we work with the interests of the moment of the country.
Okay. Là, nous peut dire l'investissement avec business. Quel petit peu a pathway you're taking in terms of this investment and business?
Pour moi, it's time for, Africa is a giant.
Yes.
And we see what's happening in the world today, with the issues in Europe, in the Far East, in the Western world. So Africa is the last continent, I believe, and I believe that Africa will feed the world because we're still untapped completely. So I would like to see Seychelles move towards Africa, and Africa moves towards Seychelles. For example, both me and Jude here, we are trying to push, the Seychelles to. When we look at we had a meeting with the Ministry of Agriculture, so we're not saying that we should import everything from there, but there are possibility of joint ventures. Okay, for example, youths. Africa, to tell you the truth, Africa, I said a few days ago, Africa is really pushing their youths. So we have to really encourage the youth to go into business, you know what I mean? So, for example, Fertilizer Seychelles is starting a factory in Tanzania, in Zanzibar, and they will start exporting the existing fertilizer from here to Tanzania, which now they are actually doing, you know, demo plots and all that.
Yeah.
And they have found out they are registered in Tanzania, certified. So in that also, there's a groups of Seychelles young people who are interested in going into long line fishing and fish processing and this, and you know, this kind of business. And I think with us in Tanzania is when Seychelles is number one for them. Whenever there's anything to do with the blue economy, for example,
Yeah.
they could invest in blue economy. And agriculture, I've always discussed with the government of Tanzania, and they are prepared to give land. We have a lot of land, you know, so they are prepared to give local farmers to have joint ventures
Oui.
whereby they can then export to Seychelles, but that will be a joint venture, will be Seychelles-Tanzania, you know, partnership. So those are the ways I think they could do. We could learn from them. They can learn from us as well.
Comment ben Consul Honorary, est-ce qu'ils ont un rôle qu'ils ont joué là-dedans to ensure that these countries honor these MOUs that they signed to Seychelles and that we as a country, we get, it's vice versa, we get the most out of the MOUs?
Yes. Our role there, of course, is we working with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs.
Yes.
We connect the technical people involved. For example, you're talking about agriculture. So we'll put the agricultural department or ministry here, the ministry in Kenya, and they get together to find ways in which they can cooperate and work together.
Okay.
Like what we learned whenever we come for the Honorary Consuls meetings is when we get to learn what's happening in the country, like you just talked about the post-COVID issues with agriculture. And we, like Seychelles right now, what we've learned is they want to move to food sovereignty, where Seychelles grows its own produce. In Kenya, Kenya's got agriculture as a mainstay part of the economy, and we have a lot of research that's been done. We've worked with aquaponics, hydroponics, new technologies, ways to grow produce back home in at home in a little what we call shamba, or a little space that you have.
Contract farming,
contract
for
farming,
example.
yes.
Yeah.
So that's we cooperate and bring the experiences from Kenya this way, especially in agriculture.
Yeah.
In the blue economy, Seychelles has a very strong voice in climate change, in ocean governance, in environment protection. And,
blue economy?
Yeah, the blue economy. That's all part of blue economy. It touches on agriculture as well. And Seychelles contributes its experience to Kenya. Kenya and Seychelles, we share an ocean, the Indian Ocean. So in that sector, we do cooperate a lot. And that's what we do with the MOUs.
How does that work? Where initially does it start, the point of contact? Is it through the Ministry of Agriculture or through the Ministry of Investment? Where does it start?
For example, in Tanzania, we have a one-stop shop, for example.
Oui.
So, par ici, seulement là-bas, investment bureau, on gagne toutes les choses là-bas.
Okay.
C'est facile, notre facilité, il y a différentes qualités compagnies qui sont ouvertes, il y a 5-year tax holiday, il y a tout ça là-dedans. Après, on n'a pas besoin de venir aussi ouvert 100% compagnie.
Oui.
Mais aussi d'autres encourager pour gagner joint ventures, partnership. So, c'est facile, très facile. Le gouvernement tanzanien est vraiment courage outside investment. Surtout avec le nouveau président là-bas dans Tanzanie, Madame Samia, tout le monde connaît comme elle là. So, une facilité, une quantité de procédures investment. Existe dans le président, comme 18 mois, ben, sans une quantité de système, un petit guide l'état. So, on ne peut pas dire pour dire difficile du tout. C'est vraiment facile, very easy.
Yeah, it's through the council it becomes a
Well,
little bit easier.
yeah,
We facilitate.
I would say it is easy for us to be involved in the sense in the initial stage,
Yeah.
because then they are secure. They know we are there for them. You see, some people will come and they'll go behind the doors and they might be in trouble, and then
Yeah.
they'll have to come to us anyway.
Yeah.
So we encourage the people, even the travelers, even the public service, when they come to our part of the world, they should inform us
contact
because
us, yes.
because we are there for them.
And how does peut-être moi si un jour Sylvie décider moi envie visit Kenya, ou ça moi envie visit Buchaplantu by the way. And on my bucket list, mind you, point tour of Africa. So probably I'll be popping by at your house for tea. But at the end of the day, qui m'en est si c'est loi, il gagne il gagne accès avec ça l'information pour connaître, bon, OK, Jude is the honorary consul for Kenya, Miss Pool, ou pour Tanzania. Where do we get this information? Est-ce qu'il y a un côté Foreign Affairs ou sinon est-ce qu'il y a un website qui met toute ça l'information?
Yeah, on the website.
Yeah?
We are all on the website.
Okay.
Of course, Foreign Affairs has made a lot of effort in educating the public.
Yes.
We on ourselves, when we hear there's anybody in the area, we make sure that they contact others that they may be with to ensure they register with us, and if anything goes wrong, we're able to take care of them.
Yeah.
But Foreign Affairs is definitely educating the Seychelles that when you do travel, be in touch with the consuls and they give them the contacts.
Yeah.
It's also available on websites. Of course, most people contact us after they get into trouble.
After they get, yeah.
Or into any difficulty.
So, ou préférez peut-être, ça dit, on contacter les autres avant.
Yeah.
Juste pour donner un petit heads up à nous dire, we are in the country and this is. Est-ce qu'il y a l'information nécessité qui est un must, qui ça dit, monde qui peut travel, il a besoin d'un autre, par nous dire, these are compulsory information and you need to give us.
No,
It's not compulsory. Not compulsory. It's very, but it is wise.
It is wise.
It is wise to have it.
Oui.
At least you have a contact point of somebody in
Yes.
a foreign nation that who is out there to look after you.
Yes.
Yeah, getting the information in advance is always better.
Mon a dit, monde qui
Yeah.
demande une question, on connaît pas. Oui, Miss Paul?
Pardon.
Oui.
Il faudrait nous faire bien sûr, Jude,
Oui.
qui c'est cela bien comprendre pour dire les entreprises là-bas, they have to respect the rules as well.
thank
You
you.
understand?
Yes, thank you for
So there's been cases where Seychelles has come to Tanzania, for example, and then maybe they lose their tickets or they lose, they overstay,
Yeah.
and then they run out of money and they expect us to help them out. But that's not our job, you see. So we help them out if they have issues, if they need help, like I say, in
Yeah.
terms of investment. But it is very clear that,
There's a fine
it's a
line.
fine line.
What we've had such cases, and what
Yes.
I've done is the way we help them is to put them in touch with their family here.
Okay.
So I make sure they can get a phone call, which is on our account. We call, we get them in touch with the family,
Yeah.
and then they make arrangements with their family.
Okay.
But at least they have a
point of
platform.
contact.
Yeah,
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
So, nous posons un petit peu, moi, connais, peut-être pas nécessairement des autres départements, mais c'est il y a question, bonne zen qui a l'école, de l'université, de sa pays respective, qui rôle qui consul jouer avec bonne zen qui overseas pe l'école? It would it be the same as somebody traveling?
Same, absolutely the same thing. And
Okay.
for them, because they're on a long-term stay,
Yes.
it is extremely important that
Yes.
they get in touch with us. And the Foreign Affairs actually advises them.
Okay.
Like when they go to Foreign Affairs to get advice on where do I get my visa, how do I apply for my visa, they are told
Oui.
that, listen, when you get whichever country you're going to,
Yeah.
contact the consuls. And I do have a few students in Kenya, and we have a database.
Moi, la question qu'ils ont tout droit pour pas répondre, si ils n'ont pas senti ils confortables pour répondre, at the end of the day, you can simply state no comments. Moi, on a des gens qui disent, ils ont fait ça à base volontaire, but then how do you live? If this is a voluntary, dare I call it to a certain extent, it's a job, a voluntary job. Mais à part de ça,
Maybe I'll explain to you. Like for myself,
Oui.
I run my own business.
Okay.
I'm a consulting engineer.
Yes.
Business I've been running for the last 35 years.
Oui.
And that's my main source of income.
Oui.
I'm very lucky. I've done reasonably well. And I actually have staff that I employ on my own account that runs
Yes.
affairs of
Consulate.
of the consulate.
Yes.
So as much as it's a full-time job, I do get personally involved in all aspects of it.
Yes.
I have one support staff, which I pay from my pocket, and we're able to give reasonably good service to the Seychelles people, the Seychelles government, and we have very good representation, and we are visible. You must remember in Nairobi also we have the United Nations office,
Yes.
and all the departments of the UN work very closely with Seychelles, and we coordinate a lot of activities.
Dare I say, Mr. Loveday, you're a very busy man, eh?
Yes,
à cause
yes.
il peut paraître à cause de la majorité bonne gros l'organisation, most of them are now based on the continent of Africa.
Yeah.
And to a certain extent, Miss Pulo aussi probably very busy 24/7.
Yeah, I think Seychelles government, Ministry of
Oui.
Foreign Affairs, when they choose a consul, they have a criteria.
Yes.
The criteria allows them to know that what kind of income we have, and are we suitable to become a honorary consul, and that's what is very important.
Self-sustainable, dare I say? To
Yeah,
some extent?
most of us are self-sustainable, and most of us have got, good business going, and so that's how we can support.
survive.
Otherwise, it's not easy
Yeah.
because we are not paid. So yeah,
But we also do it because we are very proud to be Seychellois.
yes.
Moi, tu fais des ça même. Les rencontrer une organisation ou sinon une dignitaries qui peut-être gagne ça l'opportunité pour rencontrer un représentant Seychelles et autres at the forefront of Seychelles. Peut-être what's that feeling that you guys have
I think-
representing Seychelles?
We are very proud.
I think we're very proud. For example, for me, like be it the government or the private sector, they know that Seychelles is the champions of blue economy.
Oui.
So every day I get people coming to me and asking how can the Seychelles support in terms of maybe policy, even in coming exchanges.
Yes.
So for us, yes, we are very proud, and for me, it's like it's not, I wouldn't say advantage, but we are really known for what we are.
Yes.
Et le côté peut-être nous cause beaucoup le côté l'agriculture, surtout le côté l'Afrique. Mais mon une question qui est entrée qui dit nous avons des difficultés pour la toile, textile, produit pour créer linge, surtout. Nous connaissons il y a quelque chose qui peut-être le pays dépasse beaucoup l'argent. Quel rôle que l'Afrique a joué dans la textile industry et produit que nous avons besoin pour coudre, s'il vous plaît. Est-ce qu'il peut-être y en a Kenya, Tanzania?
Kenya, we have a difficulty in our cotton industry.
exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, we had a very good cotton industry, but things have changed over time. They're trying to
Okay.
revive it.
Oui.
If they do, then yes, we can look at how we can organize materials from there.
I think, when you talk of the raw fabric, right?
Raw
Raw
fabrics.
fabric is very popular. And of course, you have the kitenges and all
Yes.
that, which is really very, very nice. And to tell you, like, for example, silk or this sort of thing, we don't produce in East Africa.
Yeah.
But we can cooperate in terms of raw fabric, which people can dye, right? Yes,
correct.
yeah.
Nous causons un petit peu l'appointement. Peut-être il y a des gens qui peuvent dire ça y est un travail volontaire, oui. Est-ce qu'ils ont gagné appointé par le président et pour combien de temps ils ont gagné appointé?
It's 3 years and it's renewable.
Yes.
Maryvonne has served for 26
6 years.
She was given an award recently.
Yes.
I have only served half that time for 13.
Yes.
Yeah, but it is renewable, and the new government very recently has assessed councils all over the world
Yes.
and made decisions on who to keep and how to reorganize it.
Maryvonne,
yes.
est-ce qu'il peut-être on a des gens qui peuvent shadow là from home, qui peut-être là ou dire OK, I've done my share, mon assez done Cécile, and now it's for me to step back. Do you have somebody peut-être qui peut shadow in your footsteps? There I say to a certain extent, ou pour recommander Cécile pour prendre en considération comme the next honorary consul for Tanzania or
When we talk of Seychelles, on dit
Yes,
Seychellois même,
oui.
on n'a pas beaucoup Seychellois Tanzania, moi quoi appeler c'est côté Loveday,
Oui.
mais seulement il y en a beaucoup dit beaucoup Tanzania.
je sais plus que tu de l'autre côté là.
No,
D'accord,
il y a-
comme c'est nous,
À cause il y en a plus.
Il y en a plus
Cascade,
Seychellois
il y en a
que nous.
Il y a plus, cette communauté Seychellois plus
Oui.
fort que
Oui.
Kenya qui Tanzania. À cause in the past, il y en a assez de monde qui travaille Tanzanie, mais
Oui.
seulement d'autres à zéro fait, si autres retournent Seychelles.
Oui.
Mais il y en a quantité compétente tanzanienne qui a take over. for
Ça veut
sure.
dire pas nécessairement veut dire ISCC loin
Non,
ça,
pas nécessaire.
Il est capable
Pas
d'un
nécessaire.
étranger qui représente Cécile over there, right?
Yeah, actuellement, mon cas dit pour dire presque nous disons des
Yeah.
Loveday qui sorti c'est celle
Oui.
qui consul la plupart ban consul autres pays que autres restés they are the naturals of their own
Nationals.
country.
OK. Et nous on a une question qui est entrée qui dit est-ce que la première fois qu'ils ont rencontré le président comme un consul honoraire ou sinon est-ce qu'ils ont une déjà joint auparavant mon président il peut dire le côté officiel hein as a honorary consul is it the first time you meet with the current president or how is that go?
Well, I've been lucky. We had a state visit of the former Uhuru
Yes.
Kenyatta that came here, so we met. And then more recently, we've just had an election in Kenya, and we have a new president. And His Excellency President Wivel Ramkalawan actually came across for the swearing-in ceremony. That also boosted the ties and the relationship between our two countries. So yes, I've been lucky. Mine has been twice officially.
Yeah, for me, it's the first time.
Yes.
And I think he's eager to come and visit Seychelles, Tanzania.
Yes.
And also our President Samia is also eager to come and visit Seychelles. So that's the first time I meet President Wankalaban.
On a demandé est-ce qu'il peut être un jour pour organiser ça l'envie pour retourner à Seychelles, pour rester ici, pour retire maybe at, in Seychelles?
It's
Yes,
difficile.
but not so easy. But
Yeah.
we, eventually, you never know. Home is home, they say.
Okay.
For me,
Miss
I'm well
Paul?
established in Tanzania.
Yes.
And it's difficult because, we have ongoing business there.
Yeah.
And so it's difficult. But we make sure we come at least once, twice a year. Yeah.
Question intéressante qui est entrée récemment, nous voyons que le Honorary Consul peut adopter un district, l'initiative et peut-être m'a commencé avec Maryvonne, ou non on adopté en Soyal.
Avec Velaza.
Avec Belazar. Peut-être qu'il y a un petit peu, on gagne ça l'opportunité pour visiter, yes,
Oui,
on va
oui,
tromper.
yeah.
Entre la communauté, peut-être comment il y a sa visite était hier, un petit peu.
La Soyal, mon pas trop là-bas, à cause mon connaît, mon vivre là-bas.
Oui. Maman la cour comme si nous compte tout l'endroit.
Yeah.
OK.
Seulement, Belaza, moi, vraiment impressionné à cause mon jeune bon zen.
Oui.
OK, mon jeune garçon qui fait une plantation mayoc et il fait galette. Seulement son plantation est vraiment pressant parce que mon noix quantité mayoc. Tanzania n'est quantité mayoc. Seulement mon vraiment choqué pour moi pour dire ainsi c'est loi il fait l'ouvrage là-dedans et qui il peut produire sa galette. Présent à cause mon là-bas, à cause de mon là-bas, à cause il peut avoir une façon pour les exporter.
OK.
Mais bon prend une quantité sample pour moi avec moi pour mon aider, comprends? Mais oui, c'est vraiment fantastique à cause mon a deux trois projets qui ongoing qui nous pour que comment nous aider. Yeah.
Et peut-être, ça y a une bonne zen. Peut-être le côté Belazar, on gagne ça se rencontrer sa garçon pour côté l'investissement. Mais le côté en Soyal, est-ce qu'il peut-être on déjà fixé une idée, quoi qu'il peut être envie targeter pour améliorer de sa district? Est-ce qu'il peut-être le Ministry of Foreign Affairs donne la liste? Bon critère. À cause de ça, nous avons dit tout?
Non, nous avons bon parlement, bon assemblée.
Oui.
Après, nous avons bon dié.
Oui.
Mais pour moi, vraiment, mon idée pour moi, c'est aider c'est au plus possible qu'ils sont capables dans le domaine de l'agriculture.
OK. Et ça, you know it's gonna...
Yeah. Par exemple, il y a certains fermiers ici
Oui.
qui peuvent importer bonnes plantes d'ananas. Ils restent un peu dans mon montagne, mais on discute avec eux autres. Donc, ils finissent mon quand autre permission pour amener ici. Mais c'est quelque chose qui vraiment l'État m'a dit il faudrait nous faire exchange.
Yes.
So for quelque chose qui est vraiment bon à cause d'ananas, il sait ici.
Oui.
Il sait Tanzanien ananas même pas $1. Comprends?
Vous connaissez au pire, hein? Bon, assez,
Non,
oui.
it's là-bas beaucoup plus bon marché, à peu près 50 sous, 50 US cents.
Yeah.
So, par exemple, moi, mon fondation, en bas de sa fondation, il y en a 661 fermiers pineapple. But, nous avons 12 millions de plants d'ananas. So, on doit commencer à nous aider Seychelles pour commencer. Après, on a added value aussi, on fait added value ici, même ici, confiture, mettre dans boîte, whatever. So, comme ça, mon idée pour moi, c'est aider bonne zen, c'est loi pour aller dans l'agriculture.
Mr. Loveday, cascade.
Cascade.
Papa sur highway. Passe cascade.
Go via cascade,
Fait l'ouvert, c'est là. Papa sur highway, monsieur Loveday. Passe le cascade. On a gagné se rencontrer. Un peu un endroit émotionnel pour aussi tout. I hear it's close to heart. Mais on comprend.
Yes, it was. I had no choice.
Oui.
That's where my wife, her grandmother,
Oui.
comes from.
OK.
And when it was time to choose, as I said, my grandfather was from Layanga, But you know, the wife always wins.
Yes, happy
And
wife.
happy wife, happy life. So, I had no. So yes, we went to Cascade yesterday.
Oui.
Visited the area. Just like with Maryvonne, we met the DA, the MNA,
Oui.
Honorable Philip Monti,
Oui.
and we visited the needs of the immediate priorities
Oui.
which the district gave us.
Est-ce que peut-être il a même la nuit avec Maryvonne à cause que ça,
Non,
on connaît
non,
pas
ça-
beaucoup la
ça-
terre.
non, ça
Il faut
différent, ça.
différent là, hein?
Différent.
Est-ce que peut-être what debated to touch un petit peu le base, what was discussed in terms of
Yes.
needs for Cascade?
Yeah, what they needed was equipment for children to have a playing field
Yes.
in some housing estates.
Nous parce que pas un playground là, hein?
Playground.
Équipement playground, yes.
There was need for, they don't have a community center.
Okay.
The community center burnt down some time ago. And the budget that's coming, I'm told they have some money being put aside to eventually do it. But for the time being, they wanted some tents
Okay.
to be able to congregate, which can host at least 200 or thereabouts number of people. So we're going to go back and look at that.
Yeah.
Après Cascade, you know, there's the waterfall trail,
Yes.
and a day trail.
Oui.
And
On
20
déjà
minutes.
gagné ça là monsieur
Non,
Loveday?
pas comme ça, moi.
Oui.
Yeah.
Ou pas essayer avant là nous quitte la terre
Ma-
c'est nous faire un petit trial?
Mukab said, say, but the short one, the one of 20 minutes,
The short-
the 20-minute one.
Okay.
And I load 1.5 hours.
All right.
So they want to do signage,
Okay.
so that tourists and people can easily find these
Yeah.
trails. And that's the other immediate need.
Bien falloir faire ça neige besoin masser.
Yeah,
Pas un petit peu quand on point ça neige.
ça la vérité, ça. Moi, Maryvonne.
Non,
Maryvonne, yes.
nous discutons pas d'affaires
Oui.
communautaires.
Oui.
Seulement, moi, je emphasise de tout côté.
Oui.
C'est que nous d'accord, nous faisons des affaires sociales.
Oui.
Seulement, l'économie, moi, crois, est vraiment important. Mais on discute une quantité de projets qui, moi, crois, d'autres cas fait Belaza, d'autres cas fait Belaza, d'autres cas fait Lance Royal. Et quand c'est posé, par exemple, Belaza, il y a une quantité de l'hôtel, d'autres cas en masse bonne ouest
Yes.
pour faire compost, d'autres avant avec bonne fermier. Un bon peu l'idée, mon donne, mais moi, crois, des côtés, tous les deux côtés, Lance Royal avec Belaza. Mon crois, il y a un bon potentiel. Lance Royal, il y a un quantité de potentiel tourisme. Copolia is very close to my heart because moi je suis là-bas Copolia.
Oui.
So yeah, moi crois nous bon MNA, il devrait être concentré un peu plus sur bonnes affaires l'économie.
Oui.
Sociale est normal,
Oui.
seulement l'économie est vraiment important. Moi crois pareil dans Tanzanie, il fait un système qui bon district tout besoin earn their own income.
Yes.
Il y en a l'argent qui sortit dans le gouvernement central, seulement, moi, je crois important qu'ils soient plus loin pour être capables d'emmener, disons, finances dans d'autres districts. Commence par différents, par exemple, des trails,
Yeah.
dans Royal, il y en a bon trail, Belaza. Moi, je crois parce que tout le monde doit, c'est la cause, il y en a une quantité, disons, on peut dire, it's green, the greenery and all. So I think the tourists nowadays,
A lot of tourists are going for green tourism.
yeah,
huh?
I think, for example, we are starting something in Zanzibar, which is the agri-tourism.
Yeah.
Mon fondation, moi, pas dire beaucoup, beaucoup. Mon fondation, mais dans mon fondation, mon quantité de madame qui travaille là-dedans.
Oui.
So mon support nous des villages quand on fait vraiment bien Zanzibar, we are turning it into a green village.
Okay.
You see, so those are ideas that Seychelles can take into agri-tourism, eco-tourism, culture tourism. People don't want to go and sit on the beach, all the time.
Yeah.
While there's un soleil on brûler,
Oui.
qu'on peut faire présent. Comprends? So cultural tourism is very important.
Est-ce que
Pareil,
peut-être-
nous
oui.
allons ça garçon qui fait maillot,
Oui.
qui fait galette. Mais c'est quelque chose qui me croit dit mon envie connaît comment les autres font.
Yeah.
Comprends? Et quand
Et
c'est-
touristes, c'est capable de venir apprendre.
Exactement.
Faire galer.
Exactement. Après un bon district, ils sont capables de fait un endroit, quand il y a un gate, nous dans le monde entier, quand nous allons,
Oui.
les mêmes affaires pour aller get ça. D'autres pay a fee that could go into the coffers of the district, you understand? Yeah.
Et peut-être quelque chose qui m'a content de dire après tout après qu'ils ont respectivement joint l'autorité de un district respectif, you also guys got to sit together and have a conversation
Yes, of
between
course.
Zodman honorary consuls and l'autorité concernée. Peut-être what are some of the main challenges as the consuls? And this is even nicer because you are an outside perspective looking on the inside with the interest of Seychelles. Il donne une différente perspective là. And it's an honest and frank perspective qui you guys have nothing to lose at the end of the day. Ou peut donner l'opinion. So what was placed on the table pendant sa conférence if you are at liberty to share some of those with us?
Well, like I said, one of the key things is about the current government has a major effort in lowering the cost of living. And as they do that, they're looking at what it is that we as consuls can assist government to enable them to do that. And what we have been advised, as I said earlier, about agriculture plays a key role. Tourism, of course, is your main income earner. And President recently said that the targets have been achieved.
Fishing is number two.
The fishing is number 2. So our role is to listen to what it is government wishes to do. We go back and try to emulate and bring these investors to Seychelles.
Yes,
Moi, quoi, ce qui est plus important, c'est que nous devons commencer à educate our youth, our young people. Because, you know, I remember when I went to school many years ago, I was taught how to plant a banana tree. So, you know, and people in Tanzania are proud that I'm able to do a lot of farming myself because we were taught in school. So, ça m'a quoi impédi ça. Moi quoi important qui
c'est l'aspect vocationnel pour réintégrer dans l'éducation.
Oui. Mais là après ou gagne ça ban du monde, disons ou fait dans l'école, mais que pour faire. Comprends?
Ou l'emmène
exactement.
On a l'autre skills qu'on capable servir. En effet, moi un petit compliment. Qui est entré, hi Maryvonne, moi bien content moi après tout ça l'année. Nous sommes l'école ensemble, Saint Joseph School, Rolly Ballet, et du il fait au salam, Monsieur Rolly. Merci pour ça. En effet, l'autre question qui est entrée, qui peut demander le côté, nous cause l'investissement, nous cause un petit peu de l'agriculture en général, la sécurité alimentaire. Est-ce qu'il y a les autres aspects qui peut-être les autres consuls pour concentrer là, tel comme nous voyons la santé aussi, il y a quelque chose de primordial ici, peut-être ben experts. Est-ce qu'il y a quelques consuls qui peut-être reliés avec le côté de la santé? Non?
Mon quoi? Mon quoi? We discovered that 60% of the population of Seychelles are obese. And nous discutons avec le ministère de l'Agriculture. Il y a bad carbs, good carbs. Pareil que dans Tanzanie, nous autres servons en quantité patate, you know, I mean, sweet potatoes, they use maize, you know, they use, they don't use rice so much like we consume here, but rice is a bad carbs anyway, you know what I mean? So they do away from that friape. Friape is almost a staple food in Zanzibar. No kijaman friape in Zanzibar. Friape, Tanzania appelle shelly. Shelly is a Swahili word for Seychelles.
Okay.
So, c'est bonne question qui nous discutait, qui me croit est important pour commencer à réintroduire Seychelles, comprends? So,
nous l'assiette, pareil nous dit.
Après, il y a une quantité de cancer, une quantité de diabète ici, c'est celle. Mon quoi, nous devons commencer à educate our young people as well. There should be this kind of maybe thesis in the schools, so that our young people know, you know, what you know, and there's, you know, control of what comes to the country as well. You know what I mean? Yeah.
A little more a little stricter by it.
Yeah. For example, the fertilizers. You have to look at the fertilizers. You know, I do a lot of bio. I do organic farming in Tanzania, and of course you have the Seychelles fertilizer,
Yeah, the
which
seaweed-
is
the
the
seaweed-
seaweed fertilizer, which is a bio-fertilizer. Nous commençons à tester Tanzanie, ça fertilizer. Nous avons dit, si d'autres types gagnent 100 cocombes, les autres gagnent 400 cocombes. D'autres Tanzaniens finissent à vous dire, ça fertilizer est vraiment bon pour introduire là-bas Tanzanie. Et important, nous besoin que nous la santé nous-mêmes, nous besoin conscients qui nous peut manger. Ça est vraiment important à cause mon statistique qui montre tout le monde mauvais maladie qu'il y a, il y a cause ça qui nous met dans
we're eating too
ça
much
qui nous
carbs.
mange. Yeah.
Et là, nous causons un petit peu les autres rencontres avec l'autorité gouvernement locale. Est-ce qu'il peut-être il y a une bonne fonction qui peut être within the authorities qui sont incapables à zouter là comme si in terms of donner un peu advice, ben M&As, peut-être ben quelque chose qui autres peut voir de la communauté qui à travers l'expérience from overseas, autres encouragent the direction to venture in. Par exemple, quand on a dit en Royal ou peut rencontrer ben fermier, est-ce que ça ben dit mon finit établir ça lien avec vous pour finir comment ça ben négociation pour ça ben opportunité que vous pouvez donner. Moi même aussi qui peut demander le côté scholarships, est-ce qu'il peut être l'éducation comme on voit il y a un texte qui est entré qui peut demander le côté scholarships.
Par exemple,
For both of us, we do push for scholarships. We have the hospitality industry in Kenya, just like here.
Yes.
We have a training college for the hospitality industry, for agriculture. We've got very good schools. And like I said, I have a lot of ambassadors in Nairobi who are accredited to Seychelles.
Yes.
I use that forum to lobby for scholarships for the Seychelles, not just to come to Kenya,
Yes.
but using their offices all over the world.
Et il peut
so
faire plus sur l'hospitalité, Jude, hein?
As well as fisheries,
Okay.
agriculture,
Yeah.
livestock, veterinary services. We have a very good college in Kenya.
Yeah.
So yes, we try very hard to get scholarships also.
And should we just throw figures out, Deputy Second Maryvonne, should we just throw figures around? C'est peut-être qu'il y a des parents qui pas nécessairement à travers le gouvernement, ont envie de scholarship pour les enfants, mais ils ont parlé aux autres mêmes, ils ont pour invest into their kids. What are the average cost pour l'université Kenya, par exemple, ça peut mentionner, average?
I would say in Kenya it's about $10,000 a year. Yeah.
Approximately.
Average, yeah.
Average.
Yeah,
Maryvonne,
I think it's less in Tanzania. It's much less in Tanzania.
She's
And-
really selling it, Jude.
Yeah.
No,
She's giving you a run for your money here.
Yeah, but
She's really selling Tanzania to us.
And-
giving
I
to
might
you
just opt to go to Tanzania, the place Kenya premier là, hein. Mon peut commencer.
I've already offered, to
Yes.
the, to the government, to the Minister of Agriculture.
Oui.
I would support 4 young men to come to Tanzania to the Agriculture University. And I will support through myself
Yes.
as contribution for 4, to young people to come and learn agronomy.
Yes.
So I believe that, we cannot bring all the people. So what we do is we have 4 who are very interested.
Yeah.
We have a very, very good school, university in Tanzania, agriculture. So these would come and study, and they become expert. And when they come here, they will be used as teachers to train the others. For example, in terms of new technology in agriculture, we know we have a lot of challenges,
Yes.
here and all over Africa, with the climate change, and so they will use those techniques to come and train other Seychellois.
Moi, une question intéressante qui est entrée, nous tous nous connaissons l'investissement de business, it coûte, it costs money. Now, is there possibilities for banks overseas to invest in businesses in Seychelles? On connaît une commercial bank pour gagner un petit peu. A question qui est demandée, are banks in Tanzania or even Kenya willing to invest in businesses in Seychelles? Maryvonne smile. I'm pretty sure this conversation probably passed by. The investment. Commercial banks. Because ici, nous voyons beaucoup de fois que ban CCY dit comment tout l'intérêt est fort. So, what are the possibilities? Let's level the playing field.
Well, yeah. I mean,
Kenya, Tanzania,
for that,
commercial banks.
There are possibilities.
Yes.
We have development banks.
Yes.
Development banks. They're not
Yeah.
the regular commercial bank.
Yes.
They invest in development, invest in projects.
Yeah.
Maybe
And how easy is that?
It's not that easy.
Okay.
It's not that easy because of securities issues.
Yeah.
You know. So if government helps to play a role, it is
Yeah.
possible to bring this kind of money here.
But is that a possibility that we could venture in?
It's not easy. It's not easy. I can tell you.
It's not
It's
very
not
easy,
easy. The rate of interest is what's critical to ensure that it's workable.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anything less than 5% is what we'll be looking for
Yeah.
for Seychelles.
I want to add something.
Yes, Maryvonne.
This is why I talk of joint venture.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes, correct.
in Tanzania, because we have
Exactly.
So, unquote, maybe.
Yes.
You know, the donors are very, very strong in Tanzania. For example, if you have a Seychelles group who are interested in investing in Tanzania, so they could tap those donor money. Okay. For example, just to let you know, right now, the Ministry of Agriculture has taken 300,000 acres and is being divided by the youths, and they have the finance. So we have Tanzania is the donor baby, so they have a lot of money. Actually, yesterday there were billions given by European Union to Tanzania, and that's for agriculture, blue economy, you know. So if I'm looking at this concept of joint venture, where the Seychelles people can come and join and tap into that kind of finance, and then they're going to be exporting their products to Seychelles, maybe that could be a way of, getting the Seychelles government to see about, less duty for this kind of joint venture, whereby the money also will come to Seychelles.
Question, Miss Paul, oui. Mon intimon qui demandait, what levels of qualification would those 4 students have to meet in order to be accepted in the university in Tanzania, as you mentioned, and did you have a chance peut-être pour aller code l'école l'agriculture, mon quoi l'école qui besoin beaucoup l'aide, est-ce qu'ils ont une gain peut-être de ça l'état qu'ils ont ici pour in view that you are talking about agriculture, have you had the chance and the opportunity to visit the school and see perhaps how you could help the school out and what the level of education it is there? I think this is perhaps
actually, let me emphasize on this one, Jude. We were in a panel where we had a PS of agriculture with us, and he talked about the agriculture school. So this is where we are discussing of exchange. I've already on many occasions discussed with the chancellor of the Sokoine University of Agriculture, and so I think there is a chance. That there could be some kind, and even in Kenya. Even in Kenya, there could be a chance that we could do some kind of joint venture or see how the university could
work with
the here.
So that discussion has been on the table.
Yes.
The PS brought it to our attention.
Yes.
And it's something we're going to go back with, not just for us, the whole consul community, about 70 of us, will feed it through them.
All right. Mon crois nous établit tout nos bouts. Maryvonne, premièrement, moi t'as donné la parole. Jude, premier. Let the ladies first, Jude. Ladies first. Okay, Maryvonne. Any last words you want to share avec les peuples seychellois qui peuvent regarder aujourd'hui bon matin? Négrandi Cécile, en soyal, il y a que, par nous dit. Any last words you want to share avec les gens qui peuvent écouter aujourd'hui bon matin?
Moi qui m'en share avec with the youths of Seychelles pour prendre l'exemple pareil moi. L'école, c'est mon panel université. Seulement, moi dis monde qui vraiment successful. Moi quoi, si on a une vision, ou continuer une vision, if you focused, moi quoi, ça y a quelque chose qui besoin Seychelles et we are here to help. as much as we can.
Very great initiative, Maryvonne. Hope we can see the light. Yes, we have so many potentials here. And like you said, education is the key. Keep up the excellent work you are doing, Monsieur Jude aussi. In regards to our local officials, they need to be more exposed to what's going on abroad, to open up their mindset and see more what's out there. Anyways, all the best regards.
Exposure is the answer.
Exposure, yes, definitely. Monsieur Jude, I will leave you with the last words.
Right, thank you very much, Sylvie. For me, I would like to say that I'm very happy to be serving the Seychelles people. As Maryvonne has said, we are here to ensure that we do the best we can for the nation, for the government, and for the people of Seychelles. If they need any help from us, we are here available in Nairobi to do whatever we can for them. And just to let you know, we also have a consul in Mombasa, so that you know that we are two of us that serve Kenya. Thank you.
All right, so thank you for that. Maryvonne, it was an absolute pleasure meeting you this morning. A plaisir. Mr. Jude, pleasure to meet you.
Merci.
I hope you have a pleasant stay. Peut-être vous connaissez au départ très très bientôt, but safe journey home to you and the family as well.
I'm leaving tonight because it's my birthday tomorrow, so I can spend with my family.
Benoît, happy birthday, all the best. Mr. Jude, safe journey home.
Thank you.
All right. Mesdames et messieurs, tiens, pareil nous dit, ça c'était une Topik Conversasyon aujourd'hui. Consul honoraire pour Seychelles, sorti Kenya et Tanzania. Ou qui est capable, pareil nous tout le temps, dit, beaucoup fois nous demander, qui nous peut faire pour nos pays. Oui, question, l'investissement yen, l'éducation yen l'autre, ça y est bon l'endroit qu'on est capable d'explorer. Nous quittons le sanote, c'est passer un bon week-end, c'est un plaisir pour avec vous aujourd'hui bon matin. L'eau de la part de l'équipe technique très calibre, passez un bon week-end, bonne journée.